Taehyung finally opens up. Amid the onslaught of rumors and shocking confessions from Jungkook, the army was not ready for the answer he gave. Was this a silent reply all along? Why did Si-hyuk suddenly raise his voice with a scathing comment? Is this the end of everything, or just the beginning of a deeper wound? Taehyung finally speaks. It's a surprising answer for Jungkook. And Si-hyuk's scathing comments that shocked the army. Did we ever really know the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook? That question, which had only been spinning in the minds of the army, suddenly exploded in cyberspace after one sentence uttered by Taehyung in HYBE's internal interviews spread uncontrollably. A simple sentence, but full of layers of emotion, which is pronounced with sharp eyes and a slight smile that is difficult to guess the meaning. But behind it all, there was one undeniable fact. Taehyung finally spoke up, and his answer hit hard into the hearts of the fans. However, what made him finally open his voice? Why now? And why does his response sound like a long-buried reply? For weeks, the K-pop world was shocked by Jungkook's open confession behind the scenes of the production of their last project. In a session that was not originally planned for the public, Jungkook held back tears at the mention of Taehyung's name. "I guess he knows why I stayed away," she said with a trembling voice. "If he doesn't know, I'm sorry. But I'm also sick, very sick." The sentence spread like wildfire in the middle of the dry season. Army divided. Some defended Jungkook, some urged clarification from Taehyung, and some others just waiting in silent fear that maybe it's not just about misunderstanding. Probably it's about deeper wounds. The wound that had been covered with a smile in front of the camera. Then came the day that I in a supposedly ordinary interview about an art project, about life after the draft, about art and music. Taehyung finally glances at the camera. Shut up for a second. Then said, "I know she's crying, but I also know why I have to be quiet." What does that mean? Shut up for guarding? Or silent because of pain? The sentence hung in the air like a light fog that enveloped the morning. Not immediately piercing, but cold enough to make anyone shiver. And then, as if to be a follow-up explosion, Si-hyuk, a producer and figure who has been known to be neutral and diplomatic, raised his voice. But not to calm, except to warm up. "I warned them," Si-hyuk said in an exclusive interview with HYBE's internal staff. "If you play with the emotions of the fans, you have to be prepared for the consequences." And now look what happened. Is this a reprimand for Taehyung? For Jungkook? Or both? No one can be sure. But clearly, the atmosphere behind the walls of the agency was no longer calm. Some of the staff began to leak that the tension between Taehyung and Jungkook was nothing new. Even long before they were drafted, the two were rarely seen talking to each other outside of work. Some suspect it was due to busyness. But now, it all looks like a neatly packaged lie, and the most painful? Taehyung never felt humiliated in front of the production staff, said one insider who requested anonymity. It happened during rehearsal. Jungkook interrupts Taehyung as he speaks. At the time, many thought it was just a joke. Taehyung's expression changed. He smiled, but there was something behind his eyes. From that day on, he changed. Is that the beginning of everything? And is Jungkook's apology a late form of regret? Some fans found a video cut from an old vlog in which Taehyung is seen standing still while Jungkook sings a solo on the rehearsal stage. Not out of admiration. It's like someone is hiding something. He looked at Jungkook, not like a friend, one fan wrote on Twitter. More like someone who's been betrayed. But the biggest surprise came when Taehyung continued his sentence in the interview. Now everyone knows. Maybe it's time to stop pretending. Pretend what? The question hangs unanswered. But his expression needs no explanation. An expression that has two long-stored words that were never said, and the public reacted. The hashtag Team by Kara is trending in more than 60 countries. Army crying, angry, confused. And in the middle of all that, Si-hyuk actually added embers. "The one thing I cannot tolerate is lies," he said. "If they think they can cover everything with a camera and a smile, they are wrong. The army is not stupid. Does this mean that HYBE is ready to open all the veils that have been closed so far? And more than that, is this a sign that the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook has really cracked? Internal sources said that after the interview, Taehyung's schedule was abruptly cancelled. Some fans speculated that it was a personal decision, but others believe it was HYBE who intervened. Something is being protected, wrote one fanbase account. And we don't know who. But one thing is certain, this is no ordinary drama. This is not a small quarrel that can be forgotten with one phone call. It's a wound that opens slowly before the eyes of the world. And are we ready to see who is really hurt? Or rather, who has made the wound? Is Taehyung harboring a pain that is never acknowledged? Over the years, the public saw Taehyung and Jungkook's friendship as one of the strongest in the K-pop world. They laugh together, share the stage, even have iconic moments that are constantly replayed by fans. But is it all real? This question became even more relevant after an additional clip from Taehyung's interview was leaked. It was never officially released, but someone from HYBE's internal environment shared it. In the clip, Taehyung is seen clasping his hands tightly and saying that I have to choose between taking care of other people's feelings or being honest with myself. This time, I chose honesty. The sentence froze the atmosphere. And more than that, it seemed to open the door to the past that had been locked tightly. A past that involves not only Jungkook, but also other parties within HYBE, including Bang Si-hyuk himself. I tried to be quiet, but they kept pushing me to the edge. Taehyung, the interview snippet left fans wondering, who does they mean? Is that Jungkook? Or the HYBE management that has been managing their every step? Some longtime fans started putting together old pieces that now feel like omens. One of them is their interaction while appearing on one of the famous Korean variety shows. When the host asked them to tell each other in one word, Jungkook quickly said, "Full of secrets." Taehyung just laughed, but the laughter that now felt different, like he was holding something back. And then, the surprise returned, Bang Si-hyuk. If they can't make peace, we won't force it. This is a shocking statement. To an executive at Bang Si-hyuk's level, this sentence sounds like giving up. Such as the recognition that even the highest authority in HYBE is no longer able to control the burning emotions within the group they have raised since zero. Taehyung is not wrong, but Jungkook is not a criminal either, Bang Si-hyuk added in an audio recording leaked to the public. What is wrong is when personal feelings are wrapped up for mass consumption. They're not robots, but they're also not public property. And now, it's all falling apart. Does this mean HYBE will let them choose their respective paths? A few days after Bang Si-hyuk's statement went viral, reports surfaced from several media outlets that BTS members' individual employment contracts were being reviewed. There is no official statement, but a source close to HYBE's legal team said, the situation is more complicated than it looks. Jungkook is sorry, but Taehyung has gone too far hurt. One of BTS' longtime production staff, who has worked since the group's early days, delivered a stirring statement. Taehyung is a very loyal person, but if he feels hurt, he'll remember it for a long time. I know he forgives, but he never forgets. And when asked if Jungkook was truly sorry, the staff responded quickly, very. But he doesn't know how to fix everything without making it worse. The confusion feels real. The last few weeks, Jungkook has been even more secretive. He canceled 2 live broadcasts previously promised to fans. He did not appear in the final promotional video and only left one short message on the community platform. Sorry if I upset you. No one said, I'm disappointed. But everyone knows who's on his mind. And emotional reply. V sing with a restrained cry. While performing solo at a Korean cultural arts event in Paris, Taehyung performed an emotional ballad. The camera caught her teary eyes in the middle of the song. The initially calm voice turned into a slight shudder, and when the chorus says, if I leave, don't look for me again, the fans' voices suddenly go silent. Is that a message? Some ARMY speculated that the song was an indirect reply to Jungkook. V never cries on stage for no reason, said one fan. But this time, he really held back that feeling. HYBE was accused of forcing the two to perform together despite the tense atmosphere. An insider from one of the major Korean music programs mentioned that HYBE had tried to unite Taehyung and Jungkook in one unit project. But the result was disappointing. They sit in the same dressing room, but don't talk to each other. The staff tried to break the ice, but to no avail. Even when the camera is on, they're just being professional.
No smiles, no mutual glances.
And the climax occurs when Jungkook leaves first, leaving the room without waiting for Taehyung. Something he'd never done before. I asked this an inevitable split. Now, the big question is this the end of Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship? Can this wound be healed? Army. Who? The rehearsal room on the third floor of HYBE, the place where many of BTS's memories were born, is now a witness to emotions that can no longer be contained. Taehyung was seen arriving early that day. He wore a black hoodie and sat for a long time on the floor, just staring at the large mirror in front of him. Staff said he didn't say anything for 2 hours. He only plays songs that he writes himself. One of them was titled "No More Smiles Between Us." The song has never been released, but a cut was recorded by one of the technical crew. If all this is just a charade, why should we continue to pretend? You say I'm best friends, but only on camera. The lyric line is like a bullet. No need to mention who inspired it. Text message leak. Jungkook sorry or late. But the drama doesn't stop in the rehearsal room. A former BTS manager anonymously leaked screenshots of Jungkook's text messages to Taehyung, messages that apparently never got a reply. "Hyung, I know I was wrong, but time cannot be twisted. Did I want to talk? Not as a member, but as your brother." The message was sent at 2:47 in the morning. Jungkook seems to be in a deep emotional state. But what was Taehyung's response? According to the same source, Taehyung didn't open the message until 3 days later. Even as he read it, he only replied with one short sentence. "A few words cannot heal a wound that has grown roots." Jin intervened. "I won't let this destroy you." In the midst of this painful silence, the figure of the Jin appears as a bridge of hope. Jin, known as the oldest and most emotionally mature Hyung, feels responsible. According to reports from his close environment, Jin asked for time to speak directly with the two separately. The first meeting was with Jungkook. The source mentioned that Jungkook cried in the room, saying, "I didn't know my words could destroy him like that." But the genie didn't just give a hug. It gives a firm rebuke. You can't just be sorry after everything is ruined. Kook, if you love her, why are you cornering her in front of the camera? This refers to one viral moment in the live broadcast where Jungkook accidentally called Taehyung not wholehearted when performing. Although he immediately laughed and changed the subject, ARMY did not forget. And more than that, Taehyung didn't forget either. Taehyung, I don't want to be supported because of sympathy, but because of honesty. In his new solo magazine interview session in Milan, Taehyung spoke in a different tone, no longer full of anger. But on the contrary, there is a wound that is heard from every pause of the sentence. I'm not angry. I'm tired. I want to talk because I want to end the pretense. Jungkook is a part of my life. But if the relationship has to live under the pressure of the cameras, I'd better go first. The sentence left the interviewers speechless. An Italian journalist even shed tears while translating Taehyung's words directly. Si-hyuk spoke up again. BTS won't come back if this wound is left to rot. As if that wasn't enough, Si-hyuk issued an official statement at the closed-door HYBE Music Leaders Conference. In the tape that was re-leaked, he said, "It's not about a comeback. It's about the heart. We can make 100 hits, but one heartbreak from one member can destroy the entire foundation of BTS. And unfortunately, that heartbreak has already happened." He also said that he suggested that Taehyung and Jungkook be given a sabbatical, even if it interferes with their international project plans. It is better to lose one contract than to lose one brother. ARMY split. Who is wrong? It is undeniable that this conflict has split the world's largest fanbase. Some defended Taehyung, saying that he had endured too many injuries and had always been the quiet one. Others felt Jungkook was just an ordinary human being who might have made a mistake and now fully regrets it. But there are also those who are getting tired of this emotional game. Some fans said that HYBE overused internal conflicts as emotional promotional material. If this is all real, why are there always cameras? Why does it always leak? Asked one of the international fans in the community forum. End or beginning? We don't know yet. But one thing is for sure, the relationship that was once the foundation of BTS is now on the edge. Jin might be able to mediate. Bang Si-hyuk might be able to mediate. But if the heart is no longer in line, then everything that has been built can collapse at any moment. And behind all the big questions, only one thing kept ringing in ARMY's mind. Do they really love each other, or are they just bound by the BTS name?